Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, third-year quarterback Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys take on Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, we're out to Seattle for the 32nd and final home opener of the 2018 season. Standing by are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one. Two
1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes. And he only had the 1 TD pass in that game, so he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. First down, Prescott. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Thompson. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A first down carry by Elliott. And an alley to run. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He's got Thompson here, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
The first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. 1st and 10 at the 19. From the red zone now, Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. The give is to Elliott. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Prescott to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, that was excellent coverage right there, and he definitely did the right thing, showing that discretion is definitely the better part of valor. Threw it away, preserved the opportunity to kick for a field goal.
And excellent coverage. And right now the human is controlling the defense, so good job, human. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And it would be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing is Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up a second down. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And that means my eyes go to Doug Baldwin out on the perimeter. He plays the game so hard and with such passion, but also plays it skillfully. Only one drop last season on his way to another Pro Bowl season.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. And now the defense for Dallas.
Coming off a career-high 14.5 sacks in 2017, which tied for second in the NFL, is DeMarcus Lawrence. How did he get to be so good in 2017? Consistency. Finally able to play pretty much a full season to show off a nice array of pass-rushing moves. He knows how to get to the quarterback.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he fires one incomplete.
Used to have a coach used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, you know, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
On third down, Wilson. It's caught right side, Dixon. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
And middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, he's playing the absolute perfect position. He's the type of guy that you build around. The cornerstone of a defense, his ability to play the run, the pass, and his leadership skills, you get the full package with him.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Well, just like you said, they've got the lead, don't do anything silly, run the football, and that's what they did.
They would have liked to have created a little more room for their punter, but he'll take what they gave him, and he'll go out there now and try and get the ball off and help his defense.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Now it's Lockett. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. And out now come the Seahawks. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. Nazaire Jones there on the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now Wilson on first down. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Tempo, baby, let's go. Let's go to work. Come on.
Now a play fake here on first down. Baldwin with it over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The numbers for Baldwin last week: 5 catches, 66 yards.
And what we just saw there was exactly what they need against this defense. Big plays. They were able to pick up a first down on that one. I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. This is caught. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. 3-0 is our score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it here with a first down. From the shotgun, Wilson. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out to kick is Janikowski. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Terrence Williams getting ready to go again here on offense. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Prescott under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
All right, partner, let's go back over the last couple of plays. Sack, loss of yards on a running play. Not exactly the sequence that an offensive coordinator gets comfortable with when calling plays.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 19. Prescott from the gun. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable for Lockett. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Sebastian Janikowski to try the Seahawks field goal. This from 44 yards away. And Janikowski bangs it through, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Terrence Williams getting ready to go again here on offense. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that at just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
The offense on 3rd down today, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, tempo.
Wilson. That's complete right around the 8. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. First down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
Now it's Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
To throw again is Wilson. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
Hey. Chris, the team.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong, only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, That's our identity. That's our bread and butter. That's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner. A give to Elliott. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Play action. Now Wilson. And the tight end Dixon left side. Finding room at the 30. And finally brought down at the 38.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Wilson now off the bootleg. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From the gun, Wilson to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
The Seahawks on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15.
4 down.
Operating from the gun. Wilson fighting his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now Sebastian Janikowski on from long distance. He's hit from 61 and 63 in his career. This will be from 56 yards out. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here losing in the 2nd quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. On 2nd down, Prescott again. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Prescott looks to throw on first. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys! Michael Gallup, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the 1st half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And an alley to run. It's a foot race. The 40. And he will take this one all the way back inside the 35-yard line.
Forget the idea of flipping the field. They have now put themselves in a position to score points with that big-time return.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. And Dixon over the middle. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. On first down, Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing is Wilson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports halftime report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that's complete to Marshall on the crossing route. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. Now a play fake here on first down. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a gain of 11, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
But it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run with Elliott. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. They go to Elliott again. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 43. Well, very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Wilson. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the 1st down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the 1st down line. Make sure they don't get it.
And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the 1st half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Prescott now, option right, and holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. This is taken at the 15. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a 1st down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
4 down, 4 down. Right, blue lady.
Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Will Dissly with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
It's not a great revelation to say that it's going to take a lot to replace what Jimmy Graham gave this club from the tight end position, especially in the red zone. But that had to be an encouraging sight for Russell Wilson right there, as he finds one of his replacements for the touchdown.
Janikowski on for the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. To kick is Janikowski. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And on the ground they go with the running back. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Here's Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Prescott. And that is incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken at the 23. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Right, 380.
Wilson to throw on 2nd down. And he rifles one incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's 3rd down.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Tempo, tempo.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And credit the tackle to Taco Charlton with a stop.
Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach. Let's see if they can hunker down and get it done.
They'll go again with McKissick. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here in this situation. They stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
The Seahawks on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. 2nd and goal from the 1. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but there's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski good with the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Out to kick is Janikowski. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Prescott now. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd down, Prescott. For the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 23 yards on the play.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Prescott now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Prescott on 3rd and 2, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Here we go now with Olawale. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
They go read option with Wilson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Wilson on 1st down. And that's incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's got a man open. That's Marshall. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the 4th quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
4 down, 4 down. Mike by 4, Mike by 4, Mike by 4.
Now it's Wilson. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Janikowski on for the extra point. Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And that is incomplete. They've got this big lead. They said, forget 1. We want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable that they even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
Set to return now. Here's Deontay Thompson. A nice little juke. Yeah, and he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again. It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And it's incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Now it's Lockett. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now it's Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Wilson now on 3rd down. Leaves it for Petty. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Now Austin. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 1st down, Prescott. He finds his target, Terrence Williams. The 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams, 82 yards. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the two-point try. They're going to run it left. And he will not make it to the goal line. The defense holds him here. And this is still a 3-score game as the lead remains 18. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for two?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. On first down, Wilson. And the tight end, Dixon, left side. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7.
Hey, boys, let's go, let's go. Mike 54. Mike 54.
Now the rookie first rounder from San Diego State. It's Rashad Penny. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Baldwin with it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10.
4 down, 4 down. 280.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Wilson wants to throw it. This will be caught just inside the 10. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Throwing again here, Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Wilson will throw again. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. Again, Wilson. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, could also result in a melee later, though. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Everybody, 180.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And that's going to be incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. An almost unimaginable 0 for 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
26.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
4 down, 4 down.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
4 down, 4 down.
From the gun, it's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.